broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to the Law & Order Special Victims Unit AfterBuzz After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. Also, guys, we're on iTunes and SoundCloud. That's right. iTunes and SoundCloud. You can subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me live during the show. If the internet works, I'll follow along at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And don't forget to use hashtag ABTVSVU. Yeah, all of those letters. Let me introduce my lovely panelists. Lauren Salaun is here.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be back. I was gone last week. You guys can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun. That's spelled S-A-L-A-U-N.
Thank you. And DJ Jesse Janedy.
Boom. Y'all already know you can hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J. And I have to give a shout out to Leslie Tat for sending me the SVU stand-up. I'm going to send it to you guys, but she sent me a stand-up comedian.
I think we've seen that before.
When they talk about Finn and he's like,
Mulaney.
Finn.
Where's there semen on it or something? Yeah.
It's a rape case. That's what we're discussing.
It's Mulaney.
Who?
The comedian is Mulaney.
Sure. I wasn't paying attention to all that.
Okay.
But it was a funny segment, and thank you guys for sharing that with me.
Yeah, we get some real good parodies sent to us. Remember when we got the Sesame Street one?
Oh, yes.
That was a weird one. I'll send it to you.
Please do.
It was great. Okay, guys. We are talking about SVU, Season 17, Episode 12, A Misunderstanding. Stupid title. Before we jump in, because I'm going to say a lot of awful stuff, let's warn you about this show. Guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. You may leave soon. This show, SVU, is very serious and talks about very serious, controversial,
very dark,
difficult, dark issues. And sometimes when life gets that dark and serious, I need to make a terrible joke. And that's what we do here sometimes, is make really uncomfortable situations even more uncomfortable with humor.
And now they've thrown me into those smash.
Yeah,
so it's
and you're happy to be here.
Sure am. Found my second home.
So just please remember that if we understand these are serious topics, and if our jokes offend you or you are very sensitive to those types of humor, this after show may not be for you.
Because Yael is not sorry.
Yeah,
because we're gonna go
not
there.
sorry, not sorry.
Sure.
I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna make it even worse.
Yep.
So. Also, if you are in a serious situation, we also have something for you. We've
got the RAIN National Hotline. It's the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, and that number is 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-HOPE.
Awesome. I feel like we should start giving out the hotline before
that
we warn people to say, turn off.
If this is sensitive for you, leave.
Yeah. Also, here's...
triggers anything.
But in case it might be too sensitive, here's the hotline.
Whoops. All right.
We'll flip that.
Yeah.
Next week, we got you.
And only this is the first time, a season and a half late, we realized that we should switch those.
So now you guys see how the show works. Kind of figure it out as we're doing. Family.
Okay. Let's talk about this episode. Yay. All right, before we get into the episode, real quick, because it was there, Rollins' baby was there.
So cute.
Yay.
Yeah. My favorite moment of the episode was when Calhoun walks in, Rita Calhoun, the lawyer. She goes, "Oh, look, a baby. Benson, I need to talk to you." I was like, yes, I love you. I fell in love with her.
No. Disgusting.
Why?
And not after what she did to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you touch my goddess.
I love how much sass everyone was giving her. Like,
Yep.
coming on this side now. What's happening? They're not like... Yeah.
Caring about the rape case at all. It's like, oh, so now you're siding with like
the good guys for once, huh?
Oh, your conscience finally caught up. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic, and I appreciated it so much. But let's talk about the case at hand. We have Abby, who's a freshman, and Chris, who's a senior, who, I'm going to tell you, I was shouting this while Lauren was watching it. I want to punch him in his stupid face.
Oh! Wait, for what, though?
Just
Because he has a stupid face. That's all she said.
Because he has a stupid face.
Poor kid. He was a cute little baby, preppy
He had a
baby.
cute little face until
I want
they,
to
at
punch
the
it.
end, when they dressed him up like a whore with his
Nerd. The nerd defense.
Nerd defense. That's not a real thing. Stop it. And I wanted to punch him in the face for that because I thought we were going in a right direction and he was going to apologize. And all he did was he looked like Scott Disick. Like, stop.
Ooh.
I wanted to punch him in the stupid face because it was a stupid face.
Sorry, kid.
No. I'm sorry. I'll just say this. An amazing actor.
Sure did, because he got the emotion out of me. I wanted to punch the TV, not because of his stupid face, but because of the actions upon this episode.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like if it was a different character, the face wouldn't be stupid.
See, I felt pretty neutral about his face. He had nice skin.
He's too pretty. I wanted to smack a pimple
very
on
pretty.
it. Yeah.
He had great skin, actually.
Okay. So, all right. So Chris and Abby, it's the, I loved that they explained which dance it was, because last episode we were like, is it prom? Is it homecoming? No, it was the solstice dance.
Yes.
Right? They said that. I'm like, that is so weird.
That's not a
How
thing.
Vampire Diaries have been.
Right.
If you've ever watched Vampire Diaries, that happens like several times in a year.
I'm sure. There's only 2 solstices in the year,
No.
regardless.
Yeah, in the world of werewolves
when
and
you're a
vampires.
vampire.
So, yeah, okay. So they go to the dance and they're making out and they want to go to the dark room to see what develops, which I honestly, if I went to such a punny school, I would be so excited. Like, what a clever school.
Oh, man. Yeah. But, I mean, it'd be kind of hot to, like, make out in the dark room, though, right? I mean, aside from, obviously, what happens in the episode, but... I
Why?
don't know.
Oh.
Like,
Just 'cause
red
it's
light.
dark?
First of all, it kind of smells weird in the dark room.
Yeah, that is true.
Like
Yeah.
iodine, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's like
Chemically, so maybe
Yeah.
not. Take
not
that back.
that sexy. But
And I
mean,
feel like
if
it's
the
always-
only place
isn't
to
it
hook
warm?
up, you might as well. But also, there's I don't know. There's not really like a lot of places in a dark room to like chill.
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't-
it's like tubs and
Well,
like.
you wouldn't, like, go there to hang out.
Well, if I'm gonna go there,
No, but like there's no all the surfaces have stuff on them
yeah, you know what I
that
mean.
you're
Like,
not supposed to touch because you're going to
poisonous-
ruin them.
That's true.
Yeah,
Okay,
Like
fine,
poisonous,
never mind.
yeah. Like when you really think
Never
about
mind.
it,
I take
very
it back.
dangerous. I'm worried for these children.
which it totally explains why the assault took place against a pole,
yeah.
Yes.
right? Like I was like, can't they find a table or a chair or something? Nope. And you can't touch anything because they're like developing films and chemicals, and you don't want to lick
Don't
the
wanna mess
whatever.
up those pictures.
Yeah, we're in the pictures anyway.
So many things upsetted me with this. Like, first of all, the whole. I mean, I get it.
The assault or the
Leading up to it, just the whole interaction between the two, it was just, I mean, I know it's Law and Order and we can only have so much backstory.
Yeah.
But I was just like, all of a sudden, this guy's never spoken to you before,
Yeah.
get some intro. Like, you didn't want to think, like, maybe something might be up here.
Right.
Or you've never heard of the cherry picking website before.
Okay.
Or I knew everything that was.
Here are some things. First off, what is RUH?
But that's what I was just gonna say.
And no, at
know?
no
Are
point
you
is
The
here?
text. Are you here? That's what I thought, but it wasn't.
What was it in reference to?
It was he sends it to her,
Yeah.
and then her friend is like, "Oh, you know what that means?" And
He's
she goes,
into you.
"Yeah." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "The hell is RUH?"
Yeah, we
I don't
gotta
know.
find
that
out.
lingo.
OMFG, guys. I know texting lingo.
Yeah,
RUH
right?
is not a thing. And I thought it was an SVU thing that they made up, but they didn't explain it ever. So I'm taking it to the chat roll, guys. What is RUH? And then the other thing, this cherry pickers, unofficial secret society. At no school is there something so secret that no one has heard of it. You know what I mean? If it's a thing that's been going on for generations, then the teachers are fully aware of it.
Are you horny?
No, they
Are you
Oh.
I'm going to start
Okay.
using that.
Are
Well,
you
I would have been like, yeah, I'm here. I'm upstairs.
Yeah.
Are you horny? Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, producer.
Nope,
Thank
not right
you,
now,
producers.
Kylie. Thank you. Take that question down.
Always. And that's not how you
no.
spell horny.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Teachers are not going to know everything that's going on.
I'm sorry, a generational secret society at a school? the administration or the teachers will be fully aware of it.
Something like that, yeah. I just did where were you yesterday? I just interviewed Nikki
See,
Goldstein.
Our chat knows what's up too.
She's a sex therapist.
Yeah, I'm aware.
She was telling me about rainbow parties. I never knew that this was a
yeah,
huge...
the lipstick.
Didn't we have... I think we had an episode
The
about
episode
that.
about the
Yes.
the
Oh, is that what that
episode
is?
the episode
It
about
wasn't, she didn't say lipstick, though. It was
It's
just
bracelets.
oh, it's the bracelets
You
or
wear
the lipstick on the
bracelets.
dick.
No, so basically it's just they take a whole bunch of guys and they could be, a very diverse crew of men because they're diverse men. The girls just line up and give a whole bunch of... These are parties that kids throw specifically for this. Oh, okay, like that's normal.
Wait, no, but...
And so basically it got exposed and the teachers all found out because the kids all had cases of gonorrhea in the throat.
Yeah.
And so that's how it got exposed. So I'm assuming like this is the
Is
first
it
person
a
who's,
rainbow
like,
because of the diversity of
Yeah.
people there? Okay.
it's a rain below.
Yes.
Because what we're used to, what we've seen in episodes, and it was a recent episode where Finn even goes, "Is that still happening?" Because it was a thing when we were a lot younger.
The lipsticks.
The lipstick. So every girl wore a different shade of lipstick so that he would have all these. Which I'm gonna be honest, if you think about how blowjobs work, it's not gonna come out the
Right.
way you want it to.
Done.
Yeah.
Lipstick mark, and then we leave.
Yeah. But also, like the last one is not going as deep as the rest of them because they ran out of space.
Yeah, whoever's got red. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
It's gonna look like one of those ugly Lisa Frank crayons. You remember those? We could like plug
Oh
them
my
into-
God, yes.
But then there's also the kind of rainbow thing with the bracelets,
bracelets.
and the different colors
That
that,
meant
mean like
what you're willing
to
you're
do.
willing to do. Sort
Anyway.
Of thing.
Yep. And the ones from the Coke bottles where if they broke it off you, you had to have sex with them. Do you remember that?
Yes. Okay, we're a little off
I
topic,
know, I'm sorry.
but only.
But it's not off topic because this
No.
is ridiculous.
That's why I
that
said
these
we're only
kid-
a little off topic.
These
Yeah.
kids are really like
Yeah.
blown into this. I mean, what did you guys think when she went downstairs? Or I don't know if we're gonna kind of talk about that more with the court case of it, but like. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm just like my brain. I've been wanting to talk about this all day.
Who hasn't wanted to talk about this all day? I was really unhappy that you guys hadn't watched it last night when I went to bed at 1 a.m.
I don't have cable.
I wanted to talk about it.
I don't either, and I didn't stay up that late.
I did. Okay. So, all right. So they're going downstairs.
I watched it at 1.
Calm down, both of
Sorry.
you. Stop whispering. You guys are killing me.
Couldn't stay up that late either.
Okay.
Sorry.
You want to talk about what's
Sorry,
going
I had
what's
food
going on?
poisoning at the beginning of the week, so I'm just like fresh out of it, and I've been watching all these crazy things. And I just have so much energy. No, I mean,
What do you
just
no,
continue on,
no,
and then
no,
when we get
you
to the court
continue
case,
on. What did you want to talk about?
I just like I don't know. This whole thing frustrated me because I understand both sides of it, but it turned more into everybody else versus the actual two people.
Yes.
And that's where it bothered me. I felt like at no point, and I don't know if this is me not knowing the law or whatnot, that these two kids never were sat down in front of each other at any point.
Well, so I feel like that's what the initial when they said let's settle it.
Spoiler alert!
I was about to run out of here.
I also
just gave me a
thought there
heart
was a
attack.
fire
I
alarm.
was like, we're gonna die.
Sorry, there was also a fire alarm in my house last night too, so that's just getting me.
Sorry, guys.
Flashbacks. Just like Liv.
Yeah, seriously.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll get to her. So we all panicked for a minute. All right. Yes, I think when they were trying to settle the case and sit down and talk about it, I think that was supposed to be what in a normal situation, the two kids would get to talk and figure it out, and she would say, I didn't want what happened, and he would say, I didn't know, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, and whatever.
And they could settle it outside of court almost.
Right,
Yeah.
but also like both parties would be okay. But instead the parents overtook it, and even the detective said like the parents are running this case, not the kids, and the lawyers, right? So we have Rita Calhoun and Buchanan, who they're both prosecutors. No, defense attorneys. They're both defense attorneys, and they're both always defending awful people. Buchanan continues to defend awful people.
Horribly too.
I hate.
Horribly. I'm just sitting here like the jury. What the are y'all listening to?
This is not the first time we've seen him where he attacks rape victims, and I hate him, especially because he's got that like caricature of the like Southern
Baloo the
racist
bear.
lawyer. Yes, right? Like he's a big sweaty man, and I'm a Southern racist lawyer here, and I'm gonna tell you were asking for it, young lady, right?
Well, yeah, and that defense too was just so cliche. Like, come on,
And, like-
buddy.
And the damn judge, that's what blew my mind. It was like, didn't call objection or didn't at all to anything. What is that, leading the witness? Is that
absolutely.
It was crazy to me. He basically was telling this girl, like, you wanted it, like, let's not pretend it wasn't. If it wasn't, let's just pretend. In every other SVU episode, I don't know nothing about no laws or none of that. In every other SVU episode, the judge would have been like, objection. The prosecutor would have been like, objection, and it wouldn't have been able to happen. So it blew my mind that this defense attorney was able to carry that story.
I feel like recently with SVU, a lot of when we get to court, a lot of it is them trying to tell the audience a story as opposed to give us the show that we know and love, right? Because Barba was there and he should have said a lot of things, and I was like, why isn't he? And I got it because Buchanan is telling us this story that, you know, it's gray, it's a misunderstanding. That said, when a woman says that she was assaulted and she felt violated, she was assaulted and was violated. And then we have Chris's mother, who but like, I can't her as a woman and the lawyer as a woman, I'm like, listen, women, girls lie better than boys.
Teenage girls.
I wanted to punch her in the face.
Yeah, because I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That comes from nowhere.
Yeah, that's an opinion.
and I heard my daughter with her friends saying that if a boy didn't call him back, she would say that he raped her. I'm sorry, your daughter has terrible friends. What does that have to do with anything? Your daughter sounds like a terrible person. That's what I heard.
It just blows my mind. And then to be sitting as a parent in there and hearing a testimony from somebody, and to just have that kind of anger. I get it, it's your son and whatnot, but your son hasn't even apologized, because let's just pretend it was consensual. If this girl is so adamant about saying no, it wasn't, at not one point did you question your son, that not one point there was never that conversation with him. And I thought, this is where I got angry because I thought he was gonna really do the right thing or do something to almost shove it in the parents' face, to be like, look, you guys are supposed to be the adults in this situation, but look, I understand what I did was wrong. Because you see it in his face where he's kind of like not sure, but then he thinks he's gonna get off, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. It just irked my whole fucking nerve. I wanted to throw everything.
Here's what I'll say,
into
as someone who does know a little bit about the law. Apologizing, saying I'm sorry, is an admission of guilt.
But it's
So if you're in a car accident, for example,
not legally. That's not legally.
No, it can, but it will be used against you. So if you were in a car accident, for example, if you actually hit someone, you should never say the words "I'm sorry" because you're taking the blame.
So in this situation, if he was to say, you know, I'm saying we both consensually did this. I'm sorry if now you're feeling regretful of that. You know, but we came down together. We went down there together. We took the pictures together. To me, it was more of a confused, like, is this a set? Like, was he setting her up? Because, like, that whole camera thing, I don't know. It was just crazy. But to look at it from a real standpoint, I just feel like this whole thing. But again, because he was how old? 18?
He was 18. She was 14 or 15.
I mean, I get what a scared boy will do, but it was just... This whole situation was just frustrating between him and the parents, and I just felt like the mother, really.
Oh, the mother was
like,
awful.
was this a situation that happened to you? Are you married to the man that picked your cherry, and now you just stuck in this relationship, and you mad, and you just taking it out on the whole world?
Jesse, this is not Bad Girls Club.
I love this.
Honey, life is Bad Girls Club.
I love it. Well, and also, like, on that note with the parents and stuff, and everyone else getting way more involved. Like, in class, as we see early in the episode, they're reading Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, okay, is there a specific reason why they're reading this? And yes, for two reasons, actually. With obviously you know, they're the
It's
consensual
the families,
situation, you know, regardless of that, but with the families getting so involved and so against each other. But then also the lawyer later, when Barba and the defense attorney are talking, he's like, oh, there's a Romeo and Juliet exemption with this case because so that's about statutory rape cases. If both people are under 19, it like negates the statutory rape consent stuff, something like
That's
that.
new.
So yeah, a little double Romeo and Juliet situation there.
Thank you. Guys, this podcast is very educational.
Right?
That's what we do.
Learning a lot, being entertained.
Yeah.
Great jokes.
Or awful. So, speaking of the trial, the part that bugged me the most in the trial, because it looked like it was about to be something and it wasn't. Chris reveals that he gave her alcohol, and it's the first time in the case that we hear about the alcohol. And then we see Barba's face that he's about to cross-examine him, and it looks like that just occurred to him. And I was like, oh, like it's going to turn into you fed her the alcohol, and therefore it was, you know, she could not consent and whatever.
Under the
And
rug.
it didn't. It didn't at all. They didn't even touch it.
Right.
And I
that
went,
was so weird.
especially because this episode, I said it last week, Mariska referred to this episode. It was a he said, she said, date rape high school story. And at no point was the date rape aspect brought up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting too. It was like, oh, you guys were on a date. You guys did that. It was like, no, they were at an event, a party at the school. That's not a date.
Right.
They met up with each other there. He clearly said, you know.
I mean, he like had been texting her before, so they were like going to meet up together. So it's, that in high school, that's like almost the equivalent of a date.
I get R-U-H. Date.
R-U-H.
You know.
We're dating.
I'm going to start sending that to people.
R-U-H, yeah.
They're going to be like, what the,
Are you,
ruh?
are you hungry?
They just go, ruh?
Are you hungry? Yeah, it could mean a lot of
A
different
lot of
things.
different things. That can mean taken.
Guys, it means ruh.
Ruh?
It's like the
Ruh?
new meh.
Ruh?
Meh.
R-U-H? Ruh. Okay. Yeah. I feel like we covered the plot.
Yes.
So,
But wait, what did you think about?
There we go.
Actually, no.
Okay.
What, Mariska.
Mariska?
Let me not go there. Olivia. Lawn Olivia. We saw her with the therapist, but then
Yes.
in the case though. Because I'm tying those two together because it was interesting to me how you said where you thought they were going to explain certain stories, but they're telling us as an audience a story.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, okay, the beginning of the episode, they show us what actually happens. Then now we hear from the defense attorney, you know, the other side of the story. But then with Olivia, they kept cutting to her at very specific moments. And where do you, I'm trying to figure out I always wish that Olivia had like a monologue in her head of what she's thinking sometimes, because I can never really understand what she's doing.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes it's a look of sadness, or sometimes it's a look of like
absolutely.
fear. But like when she was in that courtroom, do you think she was ever thinking to that therapist session and saying, you know what, maybe I am wrong, maybe I was affected a little too much, and maybe this is going the wrong way?
Wow.
Was I looking way too deep at her in those
I
moments?
love
locked
it.
on
I
to
love
her.
it.
I love her.
I almost felt like we should have seen some sort of
Reaction.
continuance of that, like trauma or PTSD
For this
sort of
specific
thing
one,
for
too.
Liv. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I agree. I feel like we've had a lot of Olivia has changed since the beginning, and especially after all this stuff she's gone through. But like this episode, I felt like she was different. The fact that she asked, did you say no? And then said, did you say yes? The way she asked it really bothered me. Because the
Because
question...
it bothered me in the promo last week, but it didn't bother me
I
in the
felt like
episode.
it was coming from a really like genuine, concerned place.
Like,
But-
if you said yes, we have to figure out how we're going to handle
Right,
this.
but the
Right.
question isn't, did you say no or did you say yes? It's, did you say no? Did you not want what happened, regardless of if you said yes? I feel like it was kind of her trying to figure out where this girl is, because all she's hearing now is from the parents and then from the lawyer. And it bothered me. I don't know. I feel like we're losing the SVU.
Liv.
Yeah, we're losing Liv. And I like that this story in general, it's a simple, like it's a simple old episode type story, because it's not all these twists, but it ended up so complicated. Oh,
Yeah.
so
Because
good.
it was so vague and open-ended, essentially. And I get so nervous every time Liv meets with the therapist, because I feel like she has that conversation over and over again about, you know, if this is too hard for her and all this stuff and the baby and all that. And I just get more concerned that she's getting ready to leave us.
I'm done. I will not be here on AfterBuzz when that happens.
Just to be clear, Mariska directed this episode, so that is why it was so beautiful. It was a really, if you look at it and you go, Mariska directed this, and you look at how it was shot, you go, oh, that's so interesting. I liked it. We had that aerial view of the dark room when who has a round door to a
No, that's how dark rooms are, because you can't let any light in. So you go into like this little like nook and then open another door and get in.
Oh, my dark room mine was ghetto. It was 2 doors and you go inside one room and then you open up the next door.
So yeah, sometimes it'll be like that, like a little chamber, 2 doors sort of thing, or like a little swirly door.
Yes, I wasn't paying attention to the doors when I was in dark rooms.
Okay.
You were developing
I was
things.
seeing what would develop. It was rough. It was definitely rough, guys. All right. Okay. I think it's time I tell you all some great stuff. But before that, let me remind you guys that we love doing the show, and we do this for you because we love you guys, and we love this show. We love SVU, and we hope it goes on for another 17,000 seasons.
With Olivia.
Obviously. So we ask you to do a very simple thing for us. Go to iTunes, hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. Also, give us a rating and a review. If you like our show, that's a 5-star rating. If you don't like our show, that's a 4-star rating. The other stars, they do not work. Nope, they don't. It's not a thing. Promise. And if you comment, we will read it live right here on the air.
That's how we type.
Is that not how you type? I bang on keys.
That's how I type. See, I'm typing.
Okay. I like to bang on keys. We will read your review live right here on the air. That's right. We will read it.
We will. And Hanan, I'm sorry, we still have not translated your Arabic review yet.
Hanan, can you just do that for us?
No, we'll figure it out. We said we would, and we're going to work on it still.
It is Lauren's job.
Well, there we go. I will be working on this.
We have no new reviews, so we're not going to read them.
Guys.
What the heck? So let's move into our next segment because we have so much to talk about, guys. Fun fact. Brought up in this episode was the affirmative consent law of California, which I'm pretty sure I told you guys a little bit about during some probably rape episode. Shock. SVU. Also known as the yes means yes law.
Exactly.
Take it away, Lauren.
All right, guys. So the California affirmative consent law was signed into effect in 2014 after tons of universities and colleges all over the country were having a lot of rape cases come about and things happening of that nature. And so basically students must seek affirmative consent before sex, and affirmative consent must be ongoing during sexual activity. So you got to say yes and keep saying yes. And this essentially speaks to a big like shift in mindset about sexual consent, not waiting for the other person to say no. You should actually make sure they say yes, you know? So instead of no means no, yes means yes sort of thing. So, you know, both parties have to agree to sexual conduct, either through clear verbal communication or nonverbal cues or gestures. So, you know, read their body language and what's going on. So it's a little tricky, like what it looks like in practice and why there was so much kind of, I guess, controversy surrounding this law, because you know, if someone doesn't say something, like this episode pointed out, if they don't say something in the moment, but they're not saying no and they seem into it, and then later they're like, oh, well, I don't really like him anymore. Or, oh, the relationship didn't go how I wanted it to. You know, there's concern that this could backfire and people could be accused of things that didn't really happen, you know? But, you know, people pretty much say that it's not really that hard. Stick to having sex and physical contact with people who are clearly receptive to it and into it at the time that you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been excuse me. Everyone's always shouting yes. Here's what I want to say. I thought a lot about this law because there's a lot of controversy regarding oh, it's going to take me. Is it okay if I touch you now? That's going to take you out of the mood for sure.
Right.
But
did you say yes? Is that yes?
Here's
nod.
Guys,
twice.
I thought about it. Here's all you got to do. All you got to say is, you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? You like that? That's it. Everything you do.
Good?
You like that?
No, I mean, you should
like
be
that?
like, you know,
because
it up
every time
too,
you
right?
say, you like that? The response would be like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Or they're gonna be like, no. Like,
and it could be,
done.
no, do it this way instead.
Yeah,
or no, let's be done.
Little to the left. Yeah,
There we go.
right there. Right, like, those are affirmative consent.
Yes.
It just really
Smiling
bothers me.
is generally a good cue.
It bothers me that everyone is like, well, it's going to ruin the mood. Really? You're not
Might make
asking?
things better.
Yeah, it's going to be so much better because you're going to know what they like.
And you're going to know you're not going to jail for doing it, and they actually are enjoying it.
You like that?
Yeah, and tons of the articles that I was reading about this, they're like, and it's gonna give you a better sexual experience anyway because you're more in tune with your partner, which is how things should be when you're having sex. It shouldn't be, one-sided or all about you and getting your own.
Absolutely. And I absolutely. You like that? Okay, so
you like that?
You like that? Right.
Giggity, giggity.
It's time for news.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
Okay, guys, it's been a long time since we've done real SVU news, and I'm just going to catch us up on all the stuff that's happened recently, which is a lot. No, I don't have a Cosby update. I apologize. Now, real quick, Don McLean, who sings American Pie, guys, he was arrested for domestic violence. That's right. Bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Domestic violence. There was a comedian in LA, actually, who put on her Instagram photos of her legs covered in bruises, and she talked about her abuse. She was dating this guy who's pretty well known in some communities here, and he, I guess they're Instagram famous or YouTubers or whatever, and she posted a note and some photos revealing that she was raped and that he both physically, verbally, and emotionally abused her. And a lot of other YouTubers have come out about that as well. If you haven't heard, Mark Salling, who plays Puck on Glee, was arrested on child pornography charges. Glee, guys, heartbroken.
I know.
If you've been living under a rock, I really hope you haven't. Guys, remember Jared from Subway? Yeah, he got 15 years for child pornography. Damn. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I heard what the sentencing was.
Because he pleaded guilty. They didn't take it to trial. He was like, Austin Powers actor. This came out today. Was linked, an Austin Powers actor was linked to a rape case and the subject of a 48-hour investigation. The show 48 Hours? Yeah. Joe Sun, who played Random Task in the first Austin Powers. That came out today. And if you aren't up on your porn star news, where you been? James Dean, one of the most famous porn stars, was accused by another porn star that he had raped her and assaulted a few others, and other porn stars have come out saying that this happened to them.
Yeah.
Ironically, the porn community was the fastest community in the world to just be like, great, he's cut off. We believe them. So he has been blacklisted like crazy. And this week, I tweeted this really awful joke because I thought it was funny about a Law & Order director named Jason Alexander who pled guilty to child porn charges. Again, that's 3 child porn cases, guys. So he's a director for Law & Order, not SVU, obviously. Okay. And his name was Jace. That was his nickname. He is out on bail. He's scheduled to be sentenced on May 3rd. He is facing 7 years in state prison for child porn. That is your real SVU news. Yay, guys, I'm really glad we could bring that segment back, and I hope we will continue to.
That was a lot of good stuff.
I just want to make sure we're all caught up on the awful things happening in the world.
Thank you.
That soon we will have episodes for. I'm telling you, that Jace Alexander one, SVU better do, right? Like
the Jared, like,
no, the Jared Subway one they'll definitely do, but like the Law & Order director, right? The idea of someone who works on a show that is about that, like,
I don't know,
the Deborah Messing episode, remember, where she was the Like to Catch a Predator person.
Oh,
so imagine if it was a Like to Catch a Predator person's producer,
big old hypocrite.
Yeah, something like that. I like hypocrisy. It makes me giggle.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, it's time to head into predictions.
No, that's fine.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
Something you have to say?
No, I was going to say we didn't really talk about the kind of the case that this episode was based off of. And Jasmine actually pointed that out in chat, which
thank you,
is a good reminder.
Thanks, Jasmine.
But about Owen Labrie, and this was, I think, just this past year, he got, I think, a year in jail, and he was an senior at a really nice prep school, boarding school, and they did the whole nerded him up for the court case and all of that business.
Thank you, Jasmine.
And the girl was 15, and it says he invited the girl to join him for a senior salute, a practice in which younger students meet seniors for a romantic encounter before graduation. So there we go. We've got a case that this was very much pulled from.
What state was that in? Do you know?
New Hampshire.
Of course it was. I got nothing.
Well, and they definitely hit on that wealthy kind of
absolutely
school situation.
Have they done one the porn?
I'll tweet that out right now.
The porn, James Dean?
Not yet. James Dean, they haven't done his story yet, but they did do one where a porn star was raped, which was the Bella Knox story. I think it wasn't Bella Knox. It was something else.
Oh, I don't remember.
There are a lot of porn stories. It was a great one. It was when Buchanan was awful. Okay, next episode is called 41 Witnesses, an assault in plain sight, but no one will say anything. Tell us what you saw. That's all we get in the promo. Theories? Predictions?
I mean, I used to live in New York, and this looked like a building that I used to stay in, and to be quite honest, people don't talk. It's just, it is what it is, and especially in a situation like that, I mean, people hear and see things all the time, and if you involve yourself, everyone knows where you live. And so I think this is going to be an interesting situation for them to really pry into and figure out who it is.
There was this old episode where Munch was talking to a witness who she had a view of a crime scene, and he's talking to her, and she's this old gypsy woman, and she's speaking Romanian, I think, and he is like, you're not gonna say anything? And she's like, no, I didn't see anything. And so he in Romanian curses her, and she goes, you would curse me? And so I hope we get another situation like that. It makes me really miss Munch.
Well, they're gonna break Finn out, and he's gonna have to go there and shake people down.
Poor Finn, always doing door to door.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why he's always trying to push it off on everyone.
I mean, you had mentioned before mafia or
I think it's gonna be mafia,
building owner,
gangs.
I think it's gang.
For sure.
Or they're all in on it. No,
probably not that, but that would be kind of nutso.
Yeah,
but it's just so. I mean, we see this all the time. It's the if you see something, say something thing, where people crap is going on and people don't want to help. One, because you don't want to. You're concerned that you're gonna then get hurt in some way, but people are just kind of dicks too. I mean, so the other night, my friend and I are waiting for our car to get, at valet or something, and this poor little girl who's 22 years old is crying because her car died, and she's asking everyone for jumper cables, and everyone's just ignoring her. And I'm like, I have some, and so we go help this girl. They're like, oh my gosh, nobody even would acknowledge us, which is obviously a very different situation than someone being murdered or beaten. Let's just help when you see something. But it's come on, people, help.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Jumping into burning cars.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
that's a 911 call.
I was at a very public place, and there was an unattended bag under a bench, and no one was sitting by it, and it was there for a good 20 minutes, and I went up to security, and they laughed at me. Security was like, "Oh, was it ticking?" I was
what?
I'm sorry.
That's so fun. That happened to me too during the movie Constantine. Someone came into the movie theater, dropped a suit luggage thing in there, and then
super weird.
they asked me the same exact question. I said, I don't know, and I left.
Right.
I told you.
Oh my gosh, those people, you should report them, and they should get fired.
So did they do anything with it? Or they just laughed at you?
They just wandered over and opened it. I'm sorry. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, guys. Off tangent real quick. I'm Israeli. First, that's what I said to them. They're like, is it ticking? I was like, I'm Israeli. We don't walk up to unattended luggage and check if it's ticking. What kind of bull is that? And second of all, you are not equipped to walk up. I was like, I'm leaving before I say something awful. That's where I was. I was so angry. And on that note,
somehow that happened to another person in the same room. Isn't it?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's the world we live in, guys. Thank you so much.
Say something. I
Say something. Say something.
Hold on people's luggage at the airport before.
Yes, seriously. That's what you do. Thanks everybody for joining us. This has been a very hilarious, educational, off the rails SVU after show. If you want to keep up with us, why don't we tell you where we are? Jesse,
hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
And you guys can find me everywhere at Lauren Salaun, LaurenSalaun.
Excellent. Thank you for spelling that.
You're welcome. Sometimes it's tricky. Sounds like hair salon, not spelled that way. There you go.
My name is all sorts of weird. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I apologize for all the letters. Also on Yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. And right here every week for SVU every Thursday, 6 p.m. on AFTERBUZZ. See you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Dun dun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.